Hey Kent, my name is Neil. I'm with Dorkaholics.
Hi Neil, how's it going? Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for joining us all the way from China, right?
Yeah, all the way from China.
Yes. To kick things off, I wanted to get to know you better and ask, well, I'll set it up. At Dorkaholics, we believe that there's a dork in all of us, and it's our job to bring that dork out into the world.
Hmm.
So, what made you a dork growing up?
You know, I think a lot of dorks start off when they're young because they don't realize like how dorky it is to unabashedly love or enjoy something. Like you're so young that you don't understand that social construct that if you lean so hard in something, other people will be like, "What's wrong with you?" And then obviously at some point you keep doing that, and at some point society looks at you as like, "Why do you do that all day?" You know? Yeah, so when I was younger, like I read lots of fantasy novels. Mind you, the crazy thing is like I don't remember them at all now. But I used to read like Sword of Truth. That was a series that I read, Wheel of Time, like the thick ones that in this day and age, I would never have the time to read that much, you know? But yeah, in high school, I was reading lots, played video games with my brother, played hockey with my brother, and just passionate and just loving, enjoying the things that I want to do at that point in time. And yeah, science fiction was a big thing. Um, James Cameron fan for sure. You know, I always think like if someone asks me like what's my favorite movies, I'm gonna be Aliens and Terminator 2. I'm like, does that make me really mainstream? But yeah, anyways.
I mean, when you're that young as a dork, it's like the concept of mainstream doesn't really exist. Like, you like what you like, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And I think if you really like something mainstream, but you like it to that degree, who cares?
When I was looking into you, I discovered your Instagram. And I just love your Instagram bio. Chinese
Thank you.
Canadian actor without borders, which just encapsulates not just your background, but like your journey of like traveling around the world to film these projects.
Yeah. It's a crazy career I've had so far. At no point when I started out as an actor did I think that this would be the career I would have. And honestly, I look back at it with a huge sense of pride. And you know, when I was young in when I was growing up in North Van, I just now that I've been all over the place, I realized kind of how sheltered I was. You know, like everyone thinks that, oh, Vancouver, top tier city in the world, very international. But if you don't travel, I think regardless of what city you live in, you're limited, very much so, you know. And now that I've been all over, I'm like, wow, there's so much more world out here. And as a result of that, my understanding of what success is and or fame or having a successful acting career, all of these concepts have all completely changed over time.
Oh wow. Yeah, that kind of touches on the next question I wanted to ask, which is like maybe you can provide more clarity to it. The question was going to be, in what ways has being a traveling actor helped you grow, not just in acting, but also like as a person?
So I think being able to connect with people all over the world, right? So when I first got into acting, I studied psychology in university, and long story short, acting became this vehicle for me to develop myself and grow and overcome insecurity and become whole and have the ability to have perspective at any moment in time and empathy at any moment in time. And being able to apply the things that I've learned in psychology, the things that I love about acting with meeting people all over the world has really just pushed that to like the next level. And you know, it's it's such a simple concept, but it's hard for a lot of people to grasp when they, especially if they do just live in one place and just realize like we're all the same. Like, sure, culturally, we might eat different things, we speak different languages, but at our core, we're all intelligent beings that just want to be happy. We want to have happiness. We want our family to be happy. We want to enjoy life. We want safety, security, and we all deserve that. So, um, yeah, it's such a core, it's such a simple concept that we as a species we struggle so badly with.
I know you have a film that was filmed over in Ghana, right?
Nigeria. Yeah.
Nigeria.
No,
Sorry.
it's okay. It was played in theaters in Nigeria and Ghana. Yeah.
And I think one of the taglines was that you are the first Chinese Canadian like lead actors of Nigeria. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So, not my first time, kind of breaking boundaries or borders in that way in the entertainment industry. When I shot Chale Te Saath, a Pakistani film, I was the first Chinese actor in a Pakistani feature film, let alone as a lead role. And then, yeah, doing that again in Nigeria now. And wow, what a crazy experience. I remember arriving in Lagos just a few months back. They really pushed that editing schedule, post production schedule real fast. But yeah, just a few months ago, when I arrived, I remember like arriving in the airport, getting in the producer's car, and just like, wow, I'm here. Like I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, and then the months building up to it, naturally there is some skepticism, right? You want to be safe. So regardless of the opportunity in front of you, like at some point, just be like, okay, is this a smart choice, right? So for a period of time, I was making sure that okay, I'm going to be safe if I do this, right? And then all of a sudden, I was there, and I was just like, wow, like, and I'm seeing it, and I'm just like, dude, this is it. Yeah, it was a crazy culture shock in the beginning.
When you began your acting career, began planning for it, did you imagine like traveling to these parts so far off from Vancouver, Canada?
No, man. Like, and this is goes back to the whole idea of being so sheltered, growing up, right? Our idea, our concept of success, right? So I'm sure, you know, probably the most basic idea would be as an Asian growing up in North America, right? The stereotype is, oh, lawyer, doctor, right? So imagine like that is the what is success is, right? And then as you grow older, you realize, okay, there's so many more layers, there's so many more ways that this can be. So when I was starting off as an actor, okay, my goal is to be top tier A-list Hollywood leading man. Like that's, you ask a woman leading female, leading actress, right? And that was the bar, right? And there's no gray area, like as amazing as that would be, right? But that was as simple as it was. And now that I've traveled all over the world, like and realized that especially thanks to social media and you know, like just really kind of breaking down all these conceptions of what is like the main place, what is the epicenter. Sure, like Hollywood in North America is known as like the place for film and TV, but as an actor, as a person that wants to pursue the craft of acting, right? Yeah, my cat. Um, as a person that wants to pursue the craft of acting, like in an absolute sense, why do I need to pursue that in Hollywood? Why can't I pursue that at the peak of its game in other countries, and not be like, yo, this is in an absolute sense an experience and something arguably rivaling working in Hollywood as an actor. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what really hit me, after the Pakistani film and finally getting some props from my parents and stuff like that. And being able to like self-validate. Like I know that in the entire world, the majority of people are still gonna be like, oh, Hollywood, but and I get that. And of course that's in me too. Of course, that's still part of the goal, of course. Like who wouldn't, right? But at the same time, it's like, okay, I've created this other thing that I didn't know was important. I didn't know that existed before. And now that I have this thing in my hand, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like this is nuts. Like I did this. You know what I mean? Like from like a third party perspective and yeah, so like um yeah, I would have never guessed that. I would have gone and done these things. But now that I have, I'm like, yo, good job, man.
No, absolutely. Like you're breaking down barriers, and you're showing that like Asian faces can exist in stories that maybe you wouldn't imagine seeing Asian faces in. So
Exactly.
it's I feel like that's the next layer to Asian representation. It's not
Right.
just seeing ourselves like highlighting films, but also being present and being like representative of our culture in other cultures.
Right. And, if you say it that way, right, being able to be a part of these projects, it highlights one of the strengths that one of the opportunities that I have in that where Hollywood still struggles, right? Back maybe a few years ago, maybe not so much now. There's a lot more representation, but like many years ago, it's like, oh, the stereotype was, oh, I'm gonna go out for this ninja, I'm gonna go out for this accountant. Like, why can't that leading guy just be an Asian guy, right? And what I'm doing is like I'm essentially doing that. Obviously not in Hollywood, but like I'm playing characters. Mind you, the two roles that I played, and this is credit to the writing because I do believe that you can't just race swap, right? It needs to make sense, right? Like so in the two stories I played, there's a reason why there's this Chinese person in these situations, right? It's embedded in the story, and it has to be, but it just goes to show that, yeah, like I think the point is it's not it's like if you think a layer past that, right? It's not about, oh, Asians or Chinese are worth have enough story around them to be the lead or the core concept of a film. It's like, no, everyone, everyone is worth that. Everyone has story. Everyone, there's interesting aspects about their culture or whatever that are worth being the forefront of any story, of any film, let alone being Chinese, and I think I can hopefully be an example of that.
Where would you like to see your career take you next? Any specific countries or genres that you'd be excited to get an opportunity to work in?
So I'm a huge science fiction guy. I've always wanted to be the lead in a science fiction film. And although I've been living and working in China for the last 10 years, I have notable credits, TV shows and stuff, but I would love to finally be the lead of a film here. I think it'll still take me some time. I've been refocused on learning Chinese or pushing myself past the early gains of the first 10 years here. Because I grew up in a Cantonese speaking family. My parents are from Hong Kong, China. And yeah, so I didn't learn Mandarin until 10 years ago. And it is understandably so one of the biggest obstacles I have pursuing an acting career here. And more recently, I kind of told myself, like, I'm not going to let this keep getting in the way. Like, I'm going to commit my time, do whatever it takes to get to the point that this weakness of mine becomes a strength. And I'm on that path now. I'm committing my time. It's tough, especially while I'm also running a company. But yeah, so on the assumption that that's all good, science fiction, that would love that, And it doesn't need to be a massive one, just something gritty, something interesting, something that pushes the boundaries of science fiction, like something dark. That'd be great.
Can't wait to see you in that type of project, Ken.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, especially with waking up early. I know we're dealing with US and Chinese time zone differences, but
All
really,
good.
really loved speaking with you, Ken.
Yeah, thank you, Neil. Thank you for having me.